As you guys know, tonight what we want to do is cover CEREC Connect and talk about some of our experiences as we've gone into the CEREC Connect. So this is how it comes through and how it looks to me when I originally open it up. You'll notice that when the doctor first put in the margin, it was the blue that it usually is. Now when I open it up, I see it and it's this pink color. Okay? I can't grab it or edit it at this point. Here I'm reviewing the prep. When I look at it here this way, I want to make sure that that margin's drawn accurate. Okay, if the margin isn't accurate and I order the model isn't going to be accurate. The model is going to be trimmed by how this margin is placed. So now I want to decide right now, how I'm going to do this. If something's off on it, what I can do is I can go ahead and work that through without ordering the model to where I change the margin and then I upload that changed file. Now before I do that, I'm going to contact the doctor and I'm going to say, let's review this together. I'm looking at how the margin's drawn and let's make sure that it's accurate before we go forward. Okay? So when you're drawing that margin, make sure that you draw it and you take time to really make sure that it's accurate on there. Here I've gone back to my work order, and now I have a place that I can end up putting comments in. So if I have any questions about that file, here I've written down, do you have any concerns with the emergence angle? I'm going to accept the file, but I have a question on it. So here I've written my question, and now as soon as I click accept, an email is going to be generated and it's going to go back to your office and it's going to alert you that I've accepted the case, but I've got a question on it. You'll be able to see that question come through. So it's another way that you can use this as a communication device, without having to take any extra time. Last thing I do, when I do order a model now, I'm going to end up uploading that to Infinident. Infinident is part of Sirona, and that's where the model is going to be completed. So now I'm back to that actual order. I've opened it up. And now what I'm going to do is I'll arrow forward. And when I arrow forward on this, now it's going to open up a new patient folder. Okay, and I'll open up that new folder. I'll put in the doctor's name, the patient's name, and then I'm going to click on that margin. That margin's going to turn from pink to blue, and now it's back live again. Okay, and I'll start working that case forward. Yes?
I think we're going back to the step you sent that note to any questions about emergence angle. At that point, does, I guess, say I submitted a case, you accepted it, but with a question or two, do I then reply directly through CEREC Connect again, or just via my normal email? Or
just email me.
Regular email?
Yeah, just regular email. Email me or give me a call and just say, hey Tom, I just got a email from you, however you want to communicate at that time. So now here I've gone forward and I've started working on the case. And this is one of the things that we've talked about too, is that hopefully going forward we're going to be able to cut down our turnaround times on this. Because, if you upload the case, I should be able to start working on it right away. I don't have to have that model yet for it. Here I've completed the coping. We've got the model back in the laboratory. This is how the model ends up coming apart. Now, this articulator is a reusable articulator. Okay, so you'll be able to have that articulator in your office, and all the lab needs to send is just the platform. So you'll be able to end up interchanging those. And it works on this.
How do I get one of those articulators?
Ask. I'll send you one. Yes. Yeah. So, but that way then you have that, and anytime we send a case out, then what we'll do is you can just have that platform and insert it. So here we've seated it in the patient's mouth. Here's our occlusal spots on it where the patient said bite's correct. neat thing to notice about that, if you take a look at where our centric, where our marks are, we've got a big mark here, and when we go back to our scan, take a look at where it's hitting in centric there. First time I've ever started grinding in a case, and all of a sudden I go, wait a second, I've seen that before. And I looked at the software again, and I went, okay. You know, so it started to tell me that, hey, I can start using the software now to tell me when I am down in centric. Some of the things that we look at with CEREC technology, with CEREC Connect, using it as a communication tool. You know, it's certainly very easy that if you tell me that, hey, I've got a difficult patient coming in, you know, I'm going to prep it at this time, can I upload the case and review it? You know, you can end up talking together, you know, real time about it. I could end up doing a design and check it out too, you know, just to make sure that it is going to work in the lab. Fast return times, yeah, we look towards the future, you know, as we start to grow our resources as a laboratory, being able to cut down the times on all cases. We talked today about same-day appointments. I think this last one is the biggest key, is the fewer remakes, okay? By ending up reviewing digital image, that's a positive image and not a negative image of in an impression. I mean, we get so much of a crisper look of what actually is happening. You know, when we look at a impression, I mean, we've all looked at impressions and it's, you can say, you know, it looks good, you know, but then, yeah, but then if, you know, really it's amazing that you get impressions to work. I mean, because we're taking a liquid, turning it into a solid, then we're going to pour a liquid into it, turn it into a solid, and expect that through all those changes, that everything's going to stay exact. Eric, you want to talk a little bit about this case? This was one of the first bridges that we did together through CEREC Connect.
Miriam is post-ortho where she had everything straightened out. And we did the bridge from 8 to 11, double abutted.
Here's the model that we were able to develop. And there's the final case, the patient's mouth.
Yeah, it ended up being a really nice case, and not that Tom's going to pay me to say this, but I can tell you the margins were absolutely spot on. Had to adjust a little bit on the contacts, both the distal and the mesial, but the case just fit right in. No adjustments whatsoever. Occlusally,